It's hard to believe that as of March 29, 2026, LEGO Star Wars the video game will be 21 years old, and therefore old enough to drink in America. I played this game so much as a kid, and I even enjoyed the True Jedi status grind to unlock the Tantive 4 mission. However, did you know that LEGO Star Wars the video game actually released almost 2 months before Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, hit theaters? Revenge of the Sith released nationally on May 19, 2005, following an early film festival premiere days prior on May 15. This means that anybody who played a copy of LEGO Star Wars the video game prior to May 2005 had the chance to witness the story of Revenge of the Sith portrayed in LEGO form prior to its theatrical release. Even just watching the game's trailer spoils a lot about Episode 3.
And the highly anticipated final chapter, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Now, if you bought LEGO Star Wars the video game on its release date, you would have had 52 days to complete the storyline of Revenge of the Sith prior to its national release date, which is plenty of time, especially considering that you can begin Chapter 1 of Episode 3 after just completing the first chapter of Episode 1. So, tell me in the comments below, did this happen to any of you? Did you finish Episode 3 in LEGO form prior to watching the movie? My guess is probably not. Personally, I was 4 years old when this game came out, and I got this game for Christmas from my parents when I was 6, along with a Nintendo GameCube, my first TV home console. You know what? Now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure I played Revenge of the Sith in LEGO form prior to watching the movie as a kid, given the film's PG-13 rating. So, actually, I changed my guess. While many of you might have not had the game on launch and played it prior to May 2005, I bet lots of people played this game as a kid prior to watching Episode 3, if their parents were more likely to let them play a game fusing LEGO and Star Wars, two of the most beloved franchises of all time, prior to watching a PG-13 rated movie. Good times. Now, this actually wasn't my first LEGO Star Wars game I ever played. That title belongs to LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, on the Game Boy Advance, which I received a year prior to the GameCube. Man, I played LEGO Star Wars 2 on the Game Boy Advance, and LEGO Star Wars the video game on the GameCube so much as a kid. Before wrapping up this video, I just wanted to reminisce about some core memories to my childhood that feature this game. First, I'll never forget the exact location in Episode 1, Chapter 1, Negotiations, where my dad handed me the GameCube controller for the first time and I took over playing. I think about this every time I replay the level. Likewise, I'll never forget the various levels and places where I got lost as a kid and couldn't figure out how to progress. I got stuck on the pod racing level for a little bit. I also got stuck on Episode 2's Discovery on Camino, when I couldn't figure out that I needed to use R4P17 to get across this gap. I'll never forget when I finally beat that mission, unlocking the rest of Attack of the Clones, and proceeded to play it all within one night. Another memory I have from The Phantom Menace is the day in school after I defeated Darth Maul at the end of the episode, in Chapter 6. I was in first grade at the time, and I remember telling our teacher's aide that I had a crazy night the night before. She asked me what I did that was so crazy, and I responded, I played a level in my Star Wars video game where I had to defeat 1 million battle droids. It took all night. Of course, this is a mere minor exaggeration of that level, but I never forgot it. I'll also never forget when I finally got my last True Jedi status bar, which I remember distinctly was Episode 3, Chapter 4, Defense of Kashyyyk. I had a friend over, and we had just gone swimming in the pool. We went inside, and he cheered me on as I attempted to complete this final challenge, thereby completing the Tantive 4 mini-kit and unlocking the question mark door, A New Hope. Funny enough, this is right around the time when my parents got me LEGO Star Wars 2 for the GameCube, where I got to continue with Episode 4 in its entirety. It is really funny how that worked out. Within weeks of me getting to play the Tantive 4 mission and LEGO Star Wars the video game as Darth Vader, my parents gave me the next game in the series, almost like it was planned. I even remember one time bringing the GameCube up to a beach house in Maine on a family trip with another friend. I showed him what was the grand mystery behind the question mark door, and he seemed pretty amazed at the time, since it was kind of a legend. Every kid wanted to know what was behind that question mark door. Man, I'd bring the GameCube and LEGO Star Wars the video game everywhere as a kid, on vacations, to my friend's house that was on my baseball team, to my grandparents' house, especially over school vacations. This game really meant a lot to me at the time, and it still does to this day. Do you have any core memories related to this game? I would love to hear them in the comments below. Maybe they involve a family member, a funny memory, or an in-game glitch, a good friend, or a time you stayed up playing all night. Leave a comment, and I'd be thrilled to hear your stories. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and let's keep the memory of this amazing game alive forever. Remember that no matter what happens in life, no matter how chaotic it may seem, we can always go back to Dexter's Diner anytime we need to, with the doors that lead to fun episodes of levels and a parking lot filled with mini kits of some of our favorite vehicles and the occasional brawl. This game and this place is something well worth preserving. Alrighty. Check. 1, 2, haha.